All right, frigid Sunday morning. It's about 36 degrees out. Got the trusty heater going. We're gonna pull the carburetor off of this and see why it's running so crummy. Shouldn't be, but we'll see. Anyway, yeah, here we go. Oh, that's right. The exhaust is connected to it, so it looks like the whole thing is going to have to come off. Okay. This might prove to be a little difficult with the tank on. I'm lazy. I don't want to take the tank off. Okie dokie. Carburetor. Leaking gas. Let's see what comes out. Holds a lot of gas. Well, there's a little something came out of there. All right. It looks like those reeds are sitting flush. Let's go get it in the light. Let's be able to see something that we're looking for. They're sitting flush. What's that? You see that? Yeah, that's where the seal is supposed to be. And it's not touching. It's not touching right there. I wonder if that's enough to make our bike run. Oh, there's another side. Is that enough to make our bike run the way it's running? Yeah, just very slightly not touching right there. So let's pull that apart, take a look at that. And since we have the carburetor off, let's go ahead and take that apart too. Sounds like a 69 Shorty Ford with a Roller 302 and a Sniper fuel injection. That's what that sounds like to me outside. Nothing. No water droplets. That float level is right where it needs to be. This is not a dirty carb. Perfectly clean. You can't see inside of there like I can, but that is not looking like it is too dirty, but the hole on the end looks a little oblong, like there is something in there, so. Could just be fuel. Cleared out. And of course that main looks absolutely clear. This carb is super clean. I really don't think there's anything wrong with this carburetor. Even though it sounds and feels like fuel delivery. No, there's nothing wrong with this carburetor. Yeah, no, this YZ was running when she went kaput. And running well. That was a good running little bike. But If I push on this, it seals. See? You can see how the fuel and oil help to make it seal. But there's still an opening right there. Right there. If I push down, I can't close that up like I can the rest. Little opening right there. So a piece of piston must have broke that, tore it, ruined it for life. Yeah, see, I'm pushing down on that and there's a big gap right there. Again, I don't know. I'm not a race bike tuner. Actually, I'm not a bike tuner at all. Just a guy with a bunch of tools, a little bit of knowledge. I'm thinking that's not supposed to be like that, that's for sure. Let's pop this off and see what's up. See where? Oops. Just pick things up along the way. No, you're brand new. Ooh, yeah. Darn it, how did I not see that before? That's pretty major, actually. Tore it right there. The little piece of piston came up, got in there, opened that up pretty good. Again, I don't know if that's enough to make this thing run crappy. Maybe it's just a low end crappy. It only affects the low end, and when you're going balls out, it doesn't. Man, this depresses me. Because that means we have to wait for either to buy another one of these, which is probably going to be more expensive than just buying that $10 manifold and modifying it for the new reed block that we have, or the new reed cage. Same thing on this side. Yeah, definitely something came in here and just beat this thing. Yeah, I don't know. Let me get you in. Okay. You see that mark right there? Do you think that is enough to give me a crappy idle, sporadic idle, and a slow throttle response, I could call it? It's like slow and then it pops off real fast. So it's like kind of no low end. But anyway, you see that right there? Will that adversely affect my running? Let's analyze that. If the crankcase pressurizes and tries to close the reeds, but can't fully close the reed, and then we get a little bit of backup into the carburetor. That's weird. Okay, then it would pressurize. It would back up and then pressurize the float bowl, wouldn't it? Slightly. When we're kind of looking for a, well, it depends on where it's pushing the pressure. If it's pushing the pressure through a vent tube, then it would give it more fuel. But if it's pressurizing it through the jets, it would be pushing the wrong direction, backwards. Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe I gotta think more about this. My slap it together and get it running personality wants to slap it together and get it running, and doesn't think that that little tiny little chunk out of there should cause this thing not to run right. But I won't know until I get either another manifold and cut these off. I can get a manifold, 10, 11 bucks, and then we'll just cut these off flush so that when we go to use these reeds, problem is it doesn't go, these, you know, obviously it's not going to go in there. So if I cut these off flush, then I think it should work, because of the fact that it's going to be sealed all the way around here, so there shouldn't be any. See, if I cut that off and then tried to use it here, actually I'd go like this, and as the air comes in, these things are, you know, once it's in that way, flows it right to the reed valve. But if those were missing and I used this cage, you would have a low spot right there, a low pressure zone, and probably a low one on that side too. And that might cause some effects, maybe on the top end. Yeah, let's go buy an aftermarket manifold. They're not that expensive. I don't mind ruining a Chinese one. I'm not going to cut that one up. We'll do that. $11. We'll buy another one of these. We'll chop the, I don't know, what do you call those? Diverters? Airflow with doodads. And that way we'll try to use this one. But look at that. I can see light through there just from sitting. And of course the pressure is going to go boink and hit those and seal those up. Of course my finger's not pushing down on them. Yeah. You hear that? They're not touching. If I can hit them like that and they tap, they're not touching. But yeah, back pressure on those should seal those up. We'll try that. Okay. Crikey. Well, that's all I got. It's not running right. It was running right before the piston blew. That's the only variable. Well, besides I pulled the motor apart, but could the cases be sucking air? I don't get any leaks. I don't have any leaks on the ground from oil. I wasn't getting any excessive smoke. I'll pull the plug, see if there's any oil on that, because if it's pulling oil from the gearbox, that would be the only place it would be getting oil. I wish I knew more about this. It's not leaking water. I don't think it's my engine assembly. I really don't. Although I'm not a professional motorcycle builder, I have put together plenty of these things in my days. It's just later in my older years, I'm having more things that just put one thing together and then another thing pops up. You put that back together and then something else pops up. I never used to get that. I'm getting that now. I'm just attributing that to my age, my eyesight, my attitude maybe. Okay, we're done. We're going to put this back into the box. Back in bowl. Put Iguina back in bowl. There we go. Down, down you go. Screws inside. Set that aside. There we are. There you have it. Maybe I'll just throw it back together and see if it runs again. And if it still runs crappy, then I'll order a new manifold. Cool. I don't know what to do now. I don't know what to say. I'll put it back together and turn this camera back on and we'll see if it runs. I'll see you in a minute. Carburetor reassembled. Put back on. No leaks. I pulled the spark plug out, checked the gap on it. It was a little wide, so I closed the gap. We blew the carburetor out. I did not put the gasket, this one, I didn't put that gasket in this time because also incorporated into the molding of this manifold is look like a rubber seal. Doesn't look like it ever had a gasket, which is probably why I can't find old ones. So I put it together without the gasket. That could have been a problem, maybe, I don't know. I set the idle screw mixture, the mixture screw, at 2 1/4 just to get it started, and we'll see how it goes. All right. Rock one. We're gonna start the Yz125. Feel on. No leaks. Choke on. Here we go. Woohoo! We're already riding wheelies and it ain't running. Okay, here we go. Maybe I'll drop this down just a bit. Make it a little bit safer. There we go. Yeah, see, there it goes. It wants to just take off. Is this routed right? It's not snapping back anymore. Okay, well, maybe we'll check the routing of this. It isn't going to cause it to, yeah, it's not, it just doesn't feel like anything's blocking it, or, huh. Okay. I don't like the fact that this doesn't snap back. So I'm going to check the routing on that, get it to snap back, and then we'll see about starting it back up again. Okay, I think we got her dialed in. Don't know what I did, but I did something, and now she's running pretty good. idling nice. Good throttle response. Throttle kicks back the way it's supposed to. I put some lubrication in there, lubricated the cables. Put a couple different cable lubes in there. I mixed it at 32 to 1. It shouldn't be smoking like that. Doesn't smell entirely like two-stroke. But we're going to take her for a ride in just a second. Okay. Let's start it up. Give her a little bit of a run up and down the street. Not a rip, just a little slight run. I think she's good. Maybe I'll pick that idle up just a little bit. So, she runs. I'm going to turn that idle up just slightly. And maybe someday give it a test run. But not today. 09 Yz125 Ready to rip. Amazing.